All right, we are here with another championship transformation. We had this client crush the last 6 weeks, and I'm going to allow him to share his story. What is your name?
My name is Ricky, and I joined the 6-week challenge at Fight Fitness.
Awesome. You crushed it, Ricky. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 37.
And what do you do for work?
I am a real estate agent.
Okay, so real estate agent, you got running around, some desk work, I bet, but a lot of meeting with clients, I'm sure. What was your fitness and your health like prior to joining the challenge?
So it was more or less, 2 years of COVID, so not much moving or activity. And here and there during those 2 years, I would try to keep myself in some sort of fitness. But it's totally different here at Fight Fitness, and in a good way.
Good, good. So not much movement. So you gained some weight throughout that time. Did you try anything after like kind of things were lifted to get yourself back into shape or, regain your health a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, there were various intervals where I would, maybe for a month or two, I would, have a routine, maybe exercising at the gym or eating healthier or trying different diets. But after a short interval, and then it would go back, and the results were never that immediate. So then it'd just be a cycle of like lose a little bit of weight, gain it back, lose a little bit, gain it back. And I needed something to make a real difference, and I was looking for that at Fight Fitness.
Good, good. So so there's a bit of yo-yoing up and down, it sounds like. Why do you think you weren't successful in like losing it and keeping it off?
Wow, I mean, now that I've joined or have experienced Fight Fitness, now I know why, more or less. But I'm just gonna say this. It's like if you join Fight Fitness, you'll find out, you'll get the results. But for me, I'll say what it is just putting everything that you may or may not know all together in a time frame, and then finally with results that are different than what you can do on your own.
Okay. So setting that duration, it sounded like, because we did this in 6 weeks, we set that start date and that end date, and we had a goal in mind and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. There's, I mean, many factors. I'll try to list them. I mean, definitely number one is the people, the people at Fight Fitness, and then the routine, and of course, the coaching that is there for me, and for my brother as well, too, who also joined, and both got excellent results.
Yeah. So before we go into the results, what was your weight and body fat like before the challenge? Like, where was it at? What were the numbers?
When I first joined, I was at 195 pounds, and I think roughly 34% body fat, pretty high. And at the end of the 6 weeks, I really pushed it, and not exactly 25 pounds lost, but it's still very impressive for me. Roughly 14 pounds lost and about 4 to 5% body fat loss. And in my, I guess, exercise regimen in the past few years, nothing of this sort of results this quickly for me.
Phenomenal. 14 pounds and 5% body fat is phenomenal. But going back to that 195 and where you were at before, like, how did it feel? Like, how were clothes fitting? How was your energy levels like? What was it making you feel like emotionally?
I mean, there were days when I did have some energy where I say, hey, I can go out and do what I needed to, but there were too many days where you're right, the energy weren't as high, and I get tired and bogged down through work. But just through, the changes here at with you and Chris and Fight Fitness, I was able to maintain that type of energy level and the momentum. It didn't feel like it was difficult. It just followed the routine. Just more or less don't need to think as much as I used to, like in terms of the exercise, just follow the routine, follow the game plan. And luckily the results speak for themselves.
Love it. Love it. So you lost 14 pounds, you lost almost 4 to 5% body fat in 6 weeks. Energy has been maintained. How do clothes now fit? How's your energy level like now?
Yeah, so clothes definitely do fit better, definitely around the waist area, the belly. And secondly, is just because of the increased energy levels, I'm able to play some sports again. So I've been just tried soccer again last Friday. I had a swim. I noticed I went just indoor golfing, let's say, with my brother, and we all performed better as well. Weren't as tired, so overall it's been great. And even just going for a run, maybe it felt easier too. So um, it helps all across any type of activity, not to mention just daily life as well too. All improvements in energy.
Love it. So you felt you lost the weight, but aside from the weight loss and everything, it day-to-day things have become easier and that sounds like more energy. It's good.
Yeah, like, or maybe to the point where it's now it's feels like it's normal to have the energy, whereas before it's like, oh, it's like a up and down. Oh, some days I have it, some days I don't. Whereas more or less in the past 3 months, even
Yes.
it's there.
Yeah. Awesome. So I want to touch on something you said before about like, having a coach and everything and having not to think about it because you're a busy professional, you're a realtor and you're good at your job. And so imagine somebody else trying to sell their own house, the things that they have to think about on top of their other things. Um, which is two contrasting things. Like people have their real job and they have to learn this, but like when you work with experts, would you say that was the missing thing in terms of the reason why you were yo-yoing up and down?
I would agree 100%. Yes. I mean, like all things, I mean, I'm realizing now you do need a team of professionals. And while we sometimes try to do everything ourselves, sometimes let's leave certain things to the people that are experts at it, right? So when it comes to selling a house, maybe myself, and then for fitness, find fitness.
Exactly. Love it. What's one thing that surprised you about the challenge?
That it was actually a challenge. Those numbers are pretty hard, but I agree with it. You shouldn't make it too simple where it's, oh, I can accomplish it. You really need to push yourself physically, mentally, and just really give it your all. And I feel like, if one did the 6 week challenge, they could do it again even, and then to really push themselves again. And it helped for me.
Good. Yeah, that's why we call it a challenge. And it's supposed to be a stretch goal. So I love that. What did you enjoy most about the workouts?
I personally like the boxing and kickboxing because I have a little bit of experience with that, so coming to do that again, it was fun. And you get to learn new skills, and it's a very welcoming environment, and the timing works. There's various times that I can go to class with, so no challenge in coming to class or enjoying the class either. Yeah, coaches were great too. Absolutely.
Good. Lots of flexibility. And in terms of the nutrition plan, was there something that you learned from it or something that surprised you about the nutrition plan?
Yeah, it also a challenge. But what I took from it is that, as long as you do stick with it, you do see the results.
Good. Love it. Last question. I bet it's Ricky. I love doing these because I am actually the one that talked you into signing up for this. I just actually talked to you and your brother, and I'm glad I'm ending it off with this conversation. But I bet you there was probably some skepticism about the challenge. I think I even remember you had to think about it a day or so, a few days, or maybe you were so I don't know, but you wanted your brother to come along with you. But what would you say to somebody sitting there in the spot that you were, who may be skeptical about doing the challenge or taking it on?
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a small level of skepticism for me in this instance. I mean, it's normal, right? We're all human. But the thing was for me is like, as I was just preparing myself because I felt like if I joined, I would get the results. It's just that, was I committed or will I be committed to this program? And once I told myself that I am ready, then I did it and got the results. And I guess my comment for anyone considering is that as long as you're ready or you want results and you believe it, you will get it here. So the major obstacle is not believing it, because the fact is it works. It's just, will you accept the challenge, and will you follow through? So if you answer yes, you're willing to try something new, challenge yourself, then you will get the results. It's as simple as that.
Love the message, Ricky. Appreciate you doing this with me. I always say you've had a remarkable transformation, 14 pounds lost, tons of body fat, energy gained. But I always say the true transformation is an identity shift. Hopefully you went from someone who may not have focused or yo-yoed up and down to now someone that's consistent with their fitness and their health, and hopefully affecting and changing everything in their life.
It's a start, but we'll continue here at Fight Fitness and get the real results that we're after.
Keep it going, Ricky. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.